Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurum Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitang Tang Sujevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Purijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitangcha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Shayam Rupakada Mayam Dadati Shapadantikam Nindantam Pulakot Karena Vikasam Nipa Prasunatstrivim Prodrikritva Bujadvayam Hari Hari It Uchai Vedantam Muhu Nityantam Drutamassunir Jara Chai Sinchantam Urvitalam Gayantam Nija Parasadai Parivritam Sri Gaura Chandram Nama Ananda Lila Maya Vigrahaya Himavadivyascha Visundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Yes, Prabhu.
Dandavat Maharaj. Question from Asha Purna Didi. We received her question prior her initiation, when she was known as Ashley. So in her message, she's saying, Dear Goswami Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Could you please explain what is surrender? I used to think surrender was a one-time thing. Over the years, I realized it is not like that. I just read that Srila Sridhar Maharaj wrote that surrender is limitless and surrender must be increased to no limit. Could you please expand on that?
We think of, well, in the Srila Guru Maharaj compiled Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam to deal with this very question, taken from many sources, from the Lord himself, from the devotees, from Mahaprabhu, and so many Shastric extractions. As if he himself wanted to understand this subject, Sharanagati, from all possible angles of vision. We know Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also has a collection of songs under the same heading. And one sloka Guru Maharaj composed in his introduction, Bhagavat Bhakti Tat Sarvam Itru Utsrija Viderapi Kainkarjam Krishna Paidaika Shrayatam Sharanagati. Saying the glories of Sharanagati can deliver everything. Once he said, perhaps, that quoting Saraswati Thakur, he said it's like cash in the hand, not a promissory note. Right? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because it can be described in different sequences, but he, in one place in the song, began Atma Nivedana, right? Joinha, he's talking about Joinha Atma Nivedan Goptritve Baran. It's interesting here that he began with Joinha, in that, in the words of Srila Guru Maharaj, one must come to the understanding that not only can they not help others, they cannot help themselves. That means they're in need of mercy, assistance. In the beginning, Sri Guru in his grace, on Guru Maharaj's suggestion and desire, we included his article written so many years before for the Harmonist magazine of Sri Gaudiya Math. And Srila Gurudev used to refer to it, he'd go, oh, to err is human, because that's the opening line. So he's saying, to err is human. To err is inevitable for all, being not perfect. Yet still, there is something within us that hankers for perfection. Right? And if that were something we could bestow upon ourselves, we would have done that by now. So it must, and what is other? He's saying, oh, the perfect, the imperfect. So to err is human. We are imperfect, but there's still something with the imperfect that seeks perfection. So he said it's necessarily a function of perfection to reveal itself to the imperfect, which Guru Maharaj said elsewhere. What are we really? He said, a part of the perfect appears to be imperfect. Right? Hence, delusion, the moon shining on the pool of water, the reflection, trembling, identifying with the reflection. What is the trembling and the reflective world? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam, birth, death, old age, disease, all trembling, tremulous reflection. Right? So he said, a part of the perfect appears to be imperfect. Mam evang sa jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Sun, Kira, sun ray, sun and sun ray. Right? The infinitesimal complementary aspects of the infinite, right, appear to be imperfect. Right? To err is human. So to move from imperfection to perfection, he said, is a function of the perfect, revealing itself to the imperfect. We atak Sri Krishna namari nabhavyed grayam indriyai, by the limitations, and by that we mean also flaws, imperfection of our sensory capacity, mental and intellectual prowess, will fall short in trying to realize the infinite. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila of Krishna. What does the Upanishads say? Huh? Nayamatma, pravachanena labhyo namedaya na bahuna srutena, tome vaisha vinute tena labhyas, tashaisha atma vivrinute atma tanum swam. That you won't get him, pravachan means, so much speaking, lecturing, pravachanena labhyo namedaya bahuna srutena. Meda means intelligence, bahu srutena, meda naha bahu srutena. It's interesting, it's saying by so much hearing, but also sruta means shrutis. Or you think that by hearing, even from scriptures, you'll make an exhaustive study of the scriptures and you'll get that thing. Right, as Guru said, the thirst to know more and more and more, to know more and more, will never be quenched. Right. So then what are we left? That dashaisha atma vivrinatena, dashaisha atma vivrinatena, atmanam tanum atmanam swam. That he reveals himself to whom he chooses, through whom he chooses. So what will put the infinite in a favorable mood of revelation to the finite? Atak Shri Krishna namadi nabhavyed grahyam indriyai Sevan mukehi jivaroshayam eva sportida. Sevan mukata. If it is not so much the activities as the spirit with which they are performed that qualifies them as devotion or non-devotional or karma kanda or even vikarma. As Guru Maharaj said, Professor Sanyal told him, if I go to read the Bhagavatam under the direction of the Vaishnava, then it may be devotion. If I go at my own behest, on my own account, right, independently of the order of Guru and Vaishnava, then it may be karma, it may be vikarma. And Guru Maharaj mentioned, to what degree was Professor Sanyal epitomize this sort of thing? He once said his type of humility was dangerous, because an extremist, but still an example can be gathered there. So we're told, the Gaudiya Math devotees are going on a program, they're all standing on the train platform. The train pulls in the station, all the devotees get on the train except Professor Sanyal. Why? Because no Vaishnava ordered him to get on the train. So a Vaishnava had to say, Professor Babu, get on the train. Then he would move. But still, it demonstrates something, how dependent we are upon Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, and Vaishnava, and particularly Vaishnava. Because without the Vaishnava, there is no Guru, there is no Sadhu, there is no Shastra. None of these things become meaningful or tangible or accessible, but by the grace of the Vaishnava. And one place it's saying, in Kali Yuga there's only two things, Vaishnava and Vaishnava scriptures. It's another way of saying there's only one thing, Vaishnavas, because without them there's no Vaishnava scriptures. Right? So the Vaishnava agency and the most superior Vaishnava, we perceive Guru. So, Asraya loya bhaje tari Krishna nahi tyaje akarane marane. Yeah. Narottam Thakur is saying. So don't try to approach Krishna directly. It's interesting. We say surrender to Krishna. Right? But as Guru Maharaj says, and we're given in Sri Guru and His grace, when Vasudev Sarvamiti means Krishna at a distance, like Everest. You see the tallest peak. Then focusing on that, Sakshat Hari Tena Samasta Shastre, right? Seeing Guru as Krishna, we begin to make our approach. But the proof positive that we're going in the right direction is as we come in connection with the surrounding subordinate peaks of Everest. So taking that Krishna is like Everest, and who's surrounding him? Srimati Radharani, Lalita Vishaka, etc. Right? So always moving in the direction of the devotees and taking their shelter. So Joinha first means realizing, as Guru said, not only can I not help others, I can't help myself. I'm in a hopeless, helpless position. I need the infinite, the Supreme Lord, the Absolute to descend in my relative circumstance. And what? Joinha, Atmani Vedan. Then I can offer myself. Goptritve Baran. And to take shelter of Krishna through the devotee of Krishna and depend upon him for protection and maintenance for everything. Srila Jiva Goswami says this is the principal Unga or limb of Sharanagati, upon which everything else is based. And this is also consistent with Sridhar Swami's parsing of the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam slokas of Prahlad Maharaj. Because it says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasham, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Atmanivedan. Right? He's saying, Adho Arpita Paschad Kriyeta. At the basis of all devotional activities must be self-giving. You must give yourself. Right? And now we come to the point of how much are we giving of ourselves? 1%, 5%, 25%, 50%, or more. And we're told pure devotion is 100%. So, and what do we say? Diksha Kale Bhakta Kori Atma Samarpan. What is Diksha really? It's that time when the devotee, the aspiring servitor, gives themselves. Atma Samarpan. They offer themselves exclusively in service. I remember this one lady in Calcutta, girl, actually like college girl, and wanting to be initiated by Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj. And their parents' objection or caution was, they were, based on their understanding, they didn't want her to do that. Why? They said, because when you take Diksha, you become the property of Guru. This is one of the peculiarities of Bengali culture. So it's simultaneously right and wrong. So what they're revealing, like, how serious they take this. They're saying, oh, if she does that, then she's property of Guru. We will have nothing more to say about her life. She will be the exclusive property of Guru. She is offering herself. That is the meaning. Atma Samarpan. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kori Atma Samarpan. It's that time. And I've thought about this. Because there are different times in our life when we may feel that we're doing that. Like initiation. Or, coming in connection with the Krishna consciousness movement. And so there can be a complacency to think like it's something that was done long ago. But and in one sense that's true, but from another point of view, going in the other direction, we could say it's something that's yet to be achieved. If we're talking about total surrender and giving oneself. Gopi Bhav. They're supposed to be the leaders. Right? Radharani and her girlfriends and their junior assistants. Right? Gopi Bhava Rasamrita Abdilahari Kalola Magno Muhur. Right? Sannyas Mantram, Gopi Bhav. Right? Guru Maharaj pointed out, interesting. It's not, Krishna's not there in the mantram, ostensibly. It's called, Gopi Bhav, Radha Dasyam. Right? So, it's all of these things. So it's that part of that surrender, self-giving, when which is the appropriate response to properly conceiving Krishna conception. What does Jiva Goswami say? Krishna. Bhajaniya Sarvasad Guna Vishishta. That the heart's response to properly conceiving Krishna conception is to offer itself in service, consistent with what we've heard. What will be the response to the Mahabhagavata? Told Kanishta Bhagavat, taking the name of Krishna, and really means properly. Madhyam, always taking the name of Krishna, right? Consistently. And what is the Mahabhagavata described as? The one upon coming in connection with you become infused with Krishna Nam. Right? A reversal takes place there. And what is the appropriate response to recognizing the presence of a Mahabhagavata? Is to offer oneself in service. Right? If we do not come to the point of understanding the primacy of the position of the devotee, Mad Bhakta Puja Abhyadika, right, that they occupy the primary position in Krishna conception, then if we do not embrace this principle in a real and substantial way, then we shall forever remain in the shallows of Kanishta Adhikar. Right? This is the hallmark of progressive devotion, is the shift. Kintu prabhuya priya eva tasya, bande guru Sri charanarvindam. But upon closer examination, dive deep into reality, and then we see the shift takes place from the conception of Guru of Krishna to the one who is most dear to Krishna. Right? And every disciple has the right to say, oh, my Guru is most dear to Krishna. And that's true. But then, as Guru Maharaj says, there is gradation everywhere and everything. So then we can say, of all of those who are most dear to Krishna, who is the most dear to Krishna? And then we will conclude happily, and all the devotees will rise up in joyous celebration and say, Srimati Radharani is most dear to Krishna. She is Krishna Priya. Right? And they want to serve and assist her, as we told, in giving the name Ashapurna. Krishna Banta, she is Radharani Chintamani Sar, Mahabhav Radharani Chintamani Sar. Means, really, Chintamani means wish-fulfilling gem, mystical wish-fulfilling gem, as Kalpavriksha, as Surabhi. Right? So what is it saying? She's the Chintamani gem of Krishna's wish fulfillment. All of Krishna's desire, she's that. Right? But to extract and take toward the relevance of this particular initiation, I said, also, you can say, well, what are those desires of Krishna? You can say Krishna wants everyone to activate their loving relationship with him. And if she's fulfilling all the desires, that means she's bringing others in connection with Krishna. So then another aspect of her Chintamani-like nature is this transformation of others through Radha Dasyam, the service to her holy lotus feet that's been extended through her friends, assistants in the Rupa Nuga line, to take one through service to her holy lotus feet to the holy lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna nama hoite have sangha, Krishna charan. So we want to move in the direction of surrender. Right? We acknowledge that we are less than surrendered, or the desired level of surrender. When Srila Guru Maharaj and some other Gaudiya Math devotees were walking on the beach in Puri, one man was accompanying them, a local dignitary, and he's saying, so it is through Sharanagati or surrender that we can get Krishna? And they're saying, yes. And he said, so you want to know how Sharanagata I am? If you tell me to jump in the ocean right now, I'm prepared to do that. And Guru Maharaj said the devotees on the walk were a little taken aback and perplexed, like how to answer this. So they looked to Srila Guru Maharaj, and he said, that is the opposite of surrender. He said, no, I'm prepared. You tell me, jump in the ocean, I'm ready to do that. He said, no, the aspiring servitor will feel that they cannot surrender themselves utterly, properly. They will always feel some lack on their part. And we mentioned the holy name of Srimati Radharani, and Guru Maharaj said, we're told she's the supreme devotee of Krishna. And she says in one place that I have this reputation being the supreme devotee of Krishna. He said, but I'm ashamed in that I don't deserve such renown because Krishna is so wonderful and beautiful and charming, and I couldn't give myself to him fully. Right? That is the open secret of Krishna consciousness. We should not be discouraged by an apparent lack of achievement or substance. That's the real test for the devotee. Asli Shiva Parvatam Panastumam Adarshanam Marmahatam Karotu Va Yatatata Va Varadatu Lampato Mat Prana Natastu Sareva Napara. The 8th sloka of Shikshastakam, the final chapter of Sri Chaitanya Charitamritam. And what is she saying? That Adarshanam, this is the critical point. He's saying, not seeing you, not achieving you, what do I do? What did we say recently on the disappearance day of Madhavendra Puri, just prior to Gaur Purnima, and what significance? Ai dina dayadranate matur nata kadavalakshase hridam alokakataram pramyati kem karomyaham hridaya tadalokakataram pramyati kem karomyaham. Anyway, he's saying, voicing the sentiments of Radharani, that if I cannot have you, be with you, then how will I go on? And Guru Maharaj says, if after all this interest and pursuit of Krishna consciousness, that we can honestly examine ourselves and say that I have nothing, I've not achieved anything. If anything, I've gone in the wrong direction. He said, and simultaneously maintain the position that, but I have no other shelter. I'm not going anywhere. I have no other shelter, no other interest than the pursuit of Krishna consciousnness under the guidance and direction of Krishna's devotees. Yes, Madhavendra Puri says in that famous verse, that Mugdam Mam Nigadantu Niti Nipana, etc., saying, you can say in the pursuit of Krishna consciousness, I've lost my mind, I'm being asocial, I stopped loving my family and friends, and I'm misguided, and a whole list of the things that people say. I've joined a cult, I've, whatever. Make a list of all the things that people say. He covers them one by one, and then he says, you know what? You can add this to your list. All those things that I left to achieve this, I didn't achieve it. Add that. That not only did I neglect all of them and everything, but that very thing that I did that for, I've not achieved. Add that to your list. But you know what else you can add? Govinda Padaspriham. I won't budge an inch from this attempt. It's so noble, so high, so perfect. And the only reciprocal of what every atom of my heart is hankering for. Prati Unga lage kande prati Unga more. And see how these things are consistent. Right, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and just for a moment, it's a high thing, but maybe try in a proper way to extract something relevant from there. In one section we're told, as I mentioned the other day at the initiation of Krishna Sharan, the sloka, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvataha Traktva deham punard. I need to get a RAM upgrade for my brain. Tyaktva deham punar janma naitimam etsi sorjana. So the mam that perhaps Prabhupada mentioned, Sanatana Goswami, says, so what happens? And he's saying, they achieve me. So you go directly you're in the material world and then you're transferred immediately to Goloka Vrindavan. How does this happen? He said, they're transferred to a universe where Krishna's pastimes are in full swing. Like the Prapancha Leela means the pastimes in this world, and we're told 125 years in one universe, then to the next. So he's saying, you're transferred there. That is your Mam Eti, achievement of Krishna. And Guru Maharaj compared that to being, in one place, an apprentice, or he called it a dress rehearsal. If you're thinking about a dress rehearsal of Krishna Leela. But, Chinmoy dress. So then, if we listen to Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur and factor in some things from other places, then we can understand when the flute song of Krishna comes. That sound that harmonizes everything and gives inner direction to all the servitors. Like the orchestra, you take a tuning fork, and do a 440A. Then everyone tunes to that. Then they play as an orchestra. So it's the sound of Krishna's flute that tunes everyone and harmonizes everyone for this divine play. And they're responding to that, the Braja Gopis. And then you think, 18,000 slokas, 12 cantos, 9 cantos of prerequisite, and 29 chapters of prerequisite up to this section, 28, 29, the 10th canto. And finally, there's the sound of Krishna's flute. The gopis are responding to that. And when they come in meet with Krishna in the Vrindavan forest, he tells them, this is inappropriate, you should go home. As someone said, again, we're doing this initially, this is an illegal gathering. And I said, yes, Krishna consciousness is an illegal gathering. So Krishna tells him, this is an illegal gathering. You should go home. And then you have to stop for a moment and think, to achieve that position, if we factor in what we hear from Vishwanath and other sources, then we know he's that person who can divide them into groups and say, you know, these are Nitya Siddha, this is another type, that, you know. But let's deal with those who, let's say, after millions of lifetimes, they've achieved this position in Prapancha Lila, and they're answering the flute call of Krishna, and they're being rejected. Adarsanam mamartam karotava. And then what are we told there? That the Braja Gopis, their beautiful lotus faces, lotus eyes, their beautiful dress is only for the pleasure of Krishna. They only exist for the pleasure of Krishna. We're told in Charitamrita in the beginning, Gopi Prem appears to be calm, but whereas Atmendriya Priti Ichadari Bolekam, Krishnendriya Priti Ichadari Premanam. Guru said, North Pole, South Pole. They look similar, but they're polar opposites. So the gopis' calm is prem. I mean, why? Because it's only for the pleasure of Krishna. Their existence is inseparable from the desire to please Krishna. Their appearance, their divine forms, their everything. And then we're told, so they, hearing from Krishna that go home, this is an illegal gathering, right? Then they bow their heads, and from their beautiful lotus eyes, tears start streaming down their lotus faces, drenching them. And what are they thinking? We have no Krishna Prem. We don't really love Krishna. Because we know that Krishna is controlled by Prem, Sri Krishna Karshini Chasa. And now here we are being rejected by him. So it means we have no Prem. And then we'll have to consider, why did we give up our families, our communities, our husband, our babies, our children, and everything, and come to Krishna if we have no Prem? What was that all about? Selfish. But, so that's how they feel. And really, and it's described, the Gopyada day, the tears stream, making their mascara run on their beautiful lotus faces, drenching their divine forms. Right? They're thinking, we're not qualified. Na prema gandhasti darapi meharo. I don't have a scent of the fragrance of Krishna Prem, what to speak of a drop of that divine substance. What to speak of Sharanagati and Sharanagata and being surrendered. Guru Maharaj said, a genuine devotee will never think they have achieved anartha nivritti, that they are freed from, misconception or unwanted characteristics and qualities. So, but those gopis, so when they bow their heads and their tears are streaming on their divine forms, they don't go. Like Madhavendra Puri, like Radharani and Shiksastakam, Mahaprabhu, and saying, yes, I don't have this thing, but I'm not going to budge an inch. This is the only aspiration that I have, and I cherish in the deep heart's core. So I will not, so Guru Maharaj said, if you can say that, I've not got, but you have no other shelter. And mark these words, Guru Maharaj said, then you might be a devotee. Even then he wouldn't say you are. That's Guru Maharaj. He said, you might be a devotee. That's how they purchase Krishna. And we can think, oh, Krishna, How cruel. His beloved Braja Gopis, and in this case, perhaps after millions and millions of lifetimes, to achieve this position. And then Krishna can be so cruel as to reject them. Apparently, again, Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur comes to our aid, and he says that Krishna is addicted to this gopi prem, the love in the Braja Gopis' hearts, but he knows that, as given in Charitamritam, Bahye Vishajalahoy Bitore Anandamoy Krishna Premer Adbhuta Charit, the wonderfully astonishing quality characteristic of Krishna Prem, and particularly in Krishna Viraha and separation, although externally it appears one is suffering the effects of cobra venom, having been bitten, cobra venom. Internally, they're relishing some peculiar nectarine joy. Right? So, Krishna knows when in the heart, when plunged into the depths of separation, achieves yields its most superior substance. So Krishna is so addicted to that he's apparently being cruel, when really it is to plunge their hearts into the depths of separation to yield the most superior type of Krishna love, Krishna prem. And then, if at that time Krishna will reveal himself, manifest himself, then how much joy, flavorful joy, taste, rasa, will they experience at that time? As hunger is the spice, right? The common saying, right? That the greater the hunger, the greater the relish, that principle. So it's that Krishna is so addicted to that, what their hearts can express, but it only achieves that level of quality and expression through being plunged into the depths of separation. And then, of course, Krishna reappears, and how happy they are. So, it's not, lip deep words to say, to be a surrendered soul. But I feel that I must say something about Bhangshivadananda Thakur, speaking of lips. He's the flute of Krishna. But in Gaura Lila, Bhangshivadananda Thakur. And when you think about that, it's inconceivable position. And even in Brahma Samhita, the Priya Saki, his dear friend, the flute. Yataganam, Nattigamanam, Bhangshi, Priya Saki, his dear constant companion, the flute, in that plane where all speech is song, all movement is dance. And we hear that Vaikuntir Pritivyadi Sakala Chinmoy, everything in the spiritual world is Chinmoy, spiritually conscious substance, enriched with the highest quality of dedicating tendency. So even the bamboo on the sides of the Jamuna River, they're crying tears of joy and ecstasy, thinking like, look at the position achieved by our son, the flute. Like the way parents are, proud of the achievements of their children. They're thinking, what an achievement. It's become the flute of Krishna. Right? And then sometimes people think, like, are devotees ever envious of one another? Or do they ever, compete? Or, sometimes that may go on here. Anything like that in the spiritual world? Rupa Goswami says in his prayers, and it's very charming because it comes from the from Chandravali, Radharani's chief competitor. Was it Saki Murali Vishalach Chidralina Purna Granta Nirashashi, I forget the rest, Chumbanananda. But it's very sweet, showing being expressed in the form of envy, but is really praise. And Chandravali is saying, what is this flute doing at the lips of Krishna? That is the property of gopis, and this flute, who is a male, is receiving all the nectar from the lips of Krishna. And additionally is, what is it? Nirashashi means a dry, rasa-less, tasteless piece of wood, right? Nirashashi, and grantila, and full of faults. The word granta can mean knots or faults. So it's all double untoned, because the flute has holes in it. Right? So they can all, a hole can also be considered a fault. So you're saying, full of faults, a dry piece of wood, no rasa, and a male on top of it all. And intervening between us and Krishna and becoming the recipient, the sole recipient of all of that nectar from the lips of Krishna. That is a sloka. So you're saying that personality, the flute of Krishna, right, appeared as Bhangshivadananda Thakur in the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gaurangera Sange Gane Nityasiddha Korimane. Way beyond that, yes. And Shyamananda Prabhu, because I didn't get to say something. And we know why this is given, to show us the inconceivable possibilities of servitorship. That having been initiated in Ragamarg Diksha in Sakyarasa by Hriday Chaitanya, that's not a guessing game or an aspiration. It's given in recognition to one's actual internal identity. This is not extant in the modern world except by Sahaja imitationists. So his wandering in the plain of Vrindavan, sands of Vrindavan, and he discovers a nupur, or a bangle, like anklet. And it's mystically charming, and he ties that up in his cloth. And then when divine ladies coming, looking hither and thither, and frantically for something, and he said, "Can I help you?" And he said, "Oh, my mistress lost a bangle here last evening, Nupur." And he opens his cloth and shows the Nupur and said, "Is this that?" And she's so happy, "Oh, yes." And she takes the bangle and then presses it to his forehead, and he becomes imbued with Madhura Rasa sentiments. And some tilak, new tilak formation on his forehead. And when he returns to his guru and the disciples assembled there, they see the different tilak and what is this? The guru tells him to efface the tilak. Shyamananda Prabhu says, if you can. They try, they cannot rub it off. The guru is demanding an explanation from Jiva Goswami, whom Shyamananda had taken shelter of for confirmation, who declined. But in the upper, he sent it upward. In the upper world, Subal, the leader of the Priyanarma, the highest rung of cowherd boys, is approached by Lalita Saki, and she says that, and Radharani, we're taking that one into our group. And of course, he's happy to oblige. So then the question comes, or many questions come, but was it misread, the Swarup of Shyamananda, or this was actually, many things can be considered, but it also shows the possibility. If we look to the poetry of Srila Rupa Goswami in praise of Lalita Saki, Yam Yadkamapi Brajakule Vrishabhanu Jaya, how Lalita Saki is moving in the plain of Vrindavan and canvassing others to join her group. And we're told, and others are coming to her with a note or a request to get entrance into her group. So they're already in Vrindavan, they're the highest section of liberated souls. Who's there to canvass? Normally we think of that, the liberated, enlightened section trying to convert the non-liberated, unenlightened section, to take them from the darkness to the light, etc. From ignorance to knowledge, from suffering to anandam. But she is canvassing in the spiritual world. So what sort of wonderful things are possible there? And the Rasayatra Balaram, he's dancing Rasa Leela, and Vishwanath and others point out they're gopis, another group of gopis than previously with Krishna. But Srila Sanatana Goswami Prabhu gives this insight. And we said in the beginning about to qualify as pure devotion, it must, ado arpita paschad kriyeta, it must be done as an offering exclusively for the pleasure and satisfaction of Krishna. And inconceivable, unthinkable, that Sanatana Goswami Prabhu is saying, this Rasa Leela enacted by Balaram, from within his heart, he's doing it as an offering to Krishna. How pure, how perfect is that? But the genuine devotees are feeling that they're not surrendered to Krishna. But their belief is, like we say, yogyata vichari kichunahi pai tomara korunasar. By the grace of Guru and Vaishnav, all things are possible. Hare Krishna. Anything else?
That's all for today.
Hare Krishna. Sarvadharmam paritraja mam ekam sharanam braja ahang tvang sarva papevya moksha ishami masutaha. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. After exploring so many possibilities with Arjuna, different perspective, points of view, at last, he says, Sarvadharma, give up everything and surrender to me. Earlier on in the Gita, he said, Swadharme nidanam sreya paro dharma vyavaha. That, in Prabhupada's words, follow another's path is dangerous. And Guru Maharaj said, do your duty, stick to your position. To follow another's path is dangerous, it's risky. So Guru Maharaj said when he heard that he was discouraged. And that's what another thing I like about Srila Guru Maharaj is his honesty, candidness. He's reading Bhagavad Gita, he doesn't say, and I read this and I understood it perfectly. And I said, Jai. No, he's saying, I read this and I was discouraged and disappointed. Said, stick to yours. Swadharma, stay in your position. Don't take the risk of leaving it. It's dangerous, it's risky. You may go down. He said, so that he had to resolve internally. He said, but when I came to in the 18th chapter, near the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna says, Sarva dharma parita, there's the word dharma, give it all up and just surrender to me. Right? And if you think, but as a consequence, what if I am, what's the word? Liable. I have responsibility. I'm neglecting my responsibilities to others or to the society or to karmic circumstance. Ahang tvang sarva papyebhyo. If there's any any sin, anything wrong, I'll digest that. I'll take care of that. You just surrender to me. Take exclusive shelter of me. Ma suchaha. Do not worry. Right? That sort of, and we say, Sarvadharmam parichaja, ma mekam sharanam braja. And this surrender, this sharanam, what should it be? Sharanam braja, we can interpret these words, braja sharanam, like the braja gopis. Right? When Krishna, Dwaraka Krishna, had a headache and sends out the message that tells Narada, only the feet dust of my devotee will cure my headache. So Narada approaches the queens of Dwaraka, and they're horrified to think, you're going to take the dust from their feet and sprinkle it on Krishna's head? No one will give. And they're saying, and besides Narada, you're Narada. You're a great devotee. Give your feet dust. He goes back to Vrindavan. Krishna still suffering, saying, "Here, hurry, give." And he said, none will give. No one, none. They're afraid of the consequence, eternal hell, for doing such an offensive thing. Okay. Then go to Vrindavan, go to the Braja Gopis. And Braja Gopis, oh Narada, we're so happy to see you. How is Krishna? Generally things are going very well, but as of today, he has suffering from a horrible headache, and only the feet dust of a devotee will cure him. And those gopis are saying, I don't know if I'm a devotee or not, take my feet dust. And then, what? What would be the consequence of your not being a devotee? Eternal hell. Whatever. I have no consideration of what my position will be. Whether or not Krishna will get some relief, that is our only concern. That is why the gopis calm is prem, right? And spotless, nirmal. Right? Everything only and always for Krishna. Not just self-sacrifice, but self-forgetfulness, self-oblivion. the good kind, right? Not self-annihilation. Self-oblivion means so wholly given over to the other as to almost be unable to separate your identity, yet you retain your identity. Right? That no self-awareness, no calculation based upon self-benefit. Right? That he wanted him to see. That he wanted Uddhava to see when he sent him with his letter to assuage the separation of the Braja Gopis. And after observing them and the divine madness of Srimati Radharani, recorded in Brahma Gita, what does Uddhava say? Asamaho charanarenu jisham ahangsam Vrindavane kim api gomalato sadinam Yad dushtajam swajanam arjapatam jihitva bejur mukunda paririm shrutibir bimrigyam. He said, oh, I know if I were to ask them for the dust from the earth, they will not give to me. Maybe when Krishna has a headache, but they're not going to give to me. They're too shy, too humble, too modest. They would shudder at the thought. Right? They wouldn't hesitate for Krishna, but that the devotee of Krishna, never, they will not do that. So then I must devise a scheme by which I can get the dust from the lotus feet of the Braja Gopis. Right? Similar to Brahma's Tadburi Bhagyam, Iha Janma Kinapyatavyam, Yad Gokalepi, Katamangri Rajobhishekam. But Brahma is expressing more general. This is more gopi specific. And so he's saying, what will my strategy be? Lata, Oshud, if I can become a creeper or a blade of grass in the soil of Vrindavan, an atomic presence in that plain when the lotus feet, the Radha Padman Kitadam Vrindavan Jaranam, Radharani's holy lotus feet, the lotus feet of the Braja Gopis are moving in that divine Chinmoy soil. If some of the dust from their holy lotus feet will come upon me, thereby consecrating my existence. And what is their specific quality characteristic? Arjapatam Jihitva. They gave up the Arjapata, like what is told in the Veda, all the things we're supposed to follow. Right? And the pursuit of Krishna, they gave up everything. Braja Sharanam. No self-consideration of what the consequences might be. Not moving, not going away, not going back home. Right? Not giving up the noble fight, the pursuit. Right? So Guru Maharaj, after he heard this, yes, and then he understood back to what was expressed initially when he said, stay in your position, Swadharme Nidanam, don't risk leaving that. He said, that means, he said, why are you being told to do that? To make progress towards this divine domain, this direction. But if you find, by remaining in your position, that not only are you not making progress, or, what's the word? Idling, in position, but you're going down by remaining in position, then you should take the risk. Give up everything and run to Krishna. That's what they do. Right? We told them that Krishna sounds his flute. They're leaving everything. And the heart is being irresistibly drawn to give itself to Krishna for the pleasure and satisfaction of Krishna. And Mahabhav Swarupini, Radha Thakurani, she has the capacity to extract the highest quality and quantity of rasa from Krishna, Ladani Pushtikara, and nourish all of the servitors with this divine substance. Hare Krishna. How wonderful is Krishna consciousness. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Charja Satarasa Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Saparikar Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Ju Chi Jai. Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Govinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, Ganga Devi, Jamuna Devi, Bhakti Devi, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Om Vishnupad Vishvavarenya Srilesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda Ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Vinod Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Sri Bhakti Lalita Devi Dasi Ki Jai, and Jai Sri Asapurna Devi Dasi Ki Jai, and Jai Sri Krishna Sharan Prabhu Ki Jai, Seva Vrinda Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Go Premanande. Hare Krishna.
Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And Maharaj, our traditional Dandavat. Today, from Ksama Buddhi Prabhu, Duty Krishna Didi Australia, Tapanandini Didi, Madhu Gopal Prabhu, Dhananjaya Das, my Dandavats to Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj and all devotees from the eternal city.
Rome. Hare Krishna.
Bhanavi Didi, Italy, Hari Vallabha Didi.
Jai Bhanavi Didi, Hare Krishna.
Juan Pablo Fuentalba, Hare Krishna. And then Asha Purna Didi, my heartfelt Dandavats, thank you Maharaj. Dandavats from Audarya Lila Didi, Govindaland, Kalyani Didi, SCSM, Dandavats from New York.
Hare Krishna.
There's Katerina Salenko.
Hare Krishna.
Stephen Howard.
That's Sudha Krishna.
Sudha Krishna. I'm simply in another room in Avadut Swami's big house, holding it down here in Los Angeles. Thank you for your dedicated service to Goswami Maharaja.
Hare Krishna.
Last one, Sudha Krishna Prabhu, but actually it's not the last one. We have Dandavas Pranams Maharaj from Portugal, Anandamayi. Kshama Buddhi, surrender is an eternal goal. It seems never a destination. Rupa Vilas Das, Dandavat Pranams to Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj from SCSM Mad, Philippines. Rangadevi Flick, Dandavat, we are making our list. Suchitra Didi, Bhikshu Prabhu, Vinod Krishna Prabhu, Mauritius. Our Madhavilata Didi from St. Petersburg. Dhananjaya Prabhu, Dandavats from Bertsk, with love and appreciation. Kshamabudhi Goswami Maharaj is the Dean of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat College of Surrender. College of Surrender.
Hare Krishna. Ati Stuti Kore Nandan.
And Kanupriya Didi. Here, our Dandavats from the temple.
Hare Krishna. Vancha Kalpatrivyacha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. I accept all this praise on behalf of Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.